Well, well, time to do another commentary. But first, a bit of context. Crizon is a character stylist who makes videos on other YouTubers. LS Mark is also a character stylist who makes videos on other YouTubers, movies, and... Sonic? Okay. A few weeks ago, Mark made a rant video about Game Grumps and why he doesn't like their channel anymore and gave very fair, insightful, and solid critiques of their content.
Why is it called a power hour if it's only 10 minutes?
And after witnessing such a beautiful video, everyone collectively agreed it was amazing. Except Crizon,
We do not speak his name.
who was all like,
Yo LS Mark my nigga, you made a nasty whack-ass video. Now I'ma end your whole career, homeboy.
So he made a video responding, and it was not good. And that's what this video is about. I would recommend watching Mark's original video, then Crizon's video for some context before watching this. Now let's get into it.
Before I even start the video, I have to mention that the first 55 seconds is useless, since it's just a skit that goes on and it's never funny in the slightest.
No. The skit wasn't pointless. The main reason for why he does the side animated story in the video is clearly because it's an observation on how the Game Grumps fanbase is toxic and that they can't take criticism. Hence why they are literally guillotining him for not liking Aaron Hansen. How did you miss that? Now sure, I can agree it was dragged out a bit, but don't go saying it was pointless. Okay, so the next thing I want to mention is a massive problem with the video. After every counterpoint you make towards Mark, you then speed up the video, then play it at normal speed when he starts making a point, then you make your counterpoint. So why do you leave in all these chunks of footage that isn't necessary? I went through the entire video, I counted up the total time that was just sped up LS Mark footage, and there was, I'm not kidding, 3 entire minutes, or 27% of it. Are you actually kidding me? You could have easily cut all that out and the video would be the same except shorter and better.
But the tidbit about him being an animator is useless now, considering how he rebranded himself away from Egoraptor and is now just Aaron Hansen, voice actor and Game Grumps co-creator.
Okay, I can see where he's coming from here, but he said it in such a way that it made him look like a dick. His point was that Aaron is no longer an animator because he hasn't animated anything in recent years. But he worded it as if Aaron acted like he was never an animator.
No he wasn't. He said he rebranded himself away from Egoraptor. How does that make it seem like he was saying Aaron was never an animator?
So even from the start, Aaron always treated Game Grumps as a business. And what do you do with a business? Expand! Game Grumps is no longer just a YouTube channel. It's a brand. T-shirts, mugs, shitty blind boxes, stickers. You can now pay money to watch them play video games on a stage. This is how far Let's Plays have come.
No shit, at some point as a YouTuber you're going to start a new series or redesign your channel. It's not a bad thing. Hell, at this point it can even apply to you as well. And you can't counter this by saying that it can apply to me as well because I never made that point.
Mark's point wasn't that rebranding is bad, it was that it's gotten insane how much they've put into marketing themselves, including doing insane stuff like watching them play video games on stage because that's ridiculous. Also, what was that bit about you can't counter this by saying it applies to me as well, because I didn't make that point? If your point here is that people can't use that counter argument for you because you didn't make that point, then how can you use that point on LS Mark when he didn't make that point either? Because, like I said, his point wasn't about redesigning, it was about how Game Grumps is now a business.
Aaron and John worked well with each other because they both acted like assholes and weren't afraid to put the other person in their place. Dan, on the other hand, comes off like he's afraid to tell Aaron when he's wrong about something, and blindly accepts anything Aaron says. And that's not me assuming this, even their friend Ross has acknowledged this in a video.
And Dan was assured himself that I was not in that episode. He goes, I played it with Kevin and Ross, and you were like, Ross wasn't there. And he's like, oh, I guess Ross wasn't there. He's like, so quickly to agree with you. This guy's my boss.
Pretty sure that's a joke. Quickly agreeing to something doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, maybe in that clip it was a joke, but how does that prove Mark's point wrong that Dan doesn't speak up to Aaron because he's his boss?
Like it or not, Aaron's rabid fanbase will believe anything he says. So when he complains about a game, his fans will treat what he says as a fact, even if what he's saying isn't true.
Mark never made the point that Aaron is at fault for the actions of his fans. He said, Aaron's rabid fanbase will believe anything he says, so when he complains about his game, his fans will treat what he says as a fact. He's blaming his fans, not Aaron himself.
Bravo, Aaron and Dan. We don't need John ruining the artistic integrity of the Game Grumps. Oh, but what's this? Can you reach into my pocket, please?
I'm still trying to think of the most racist thing I've ever done. There's got to be something. Okay. We were.
You dropped someone off who was black. You had to say like nigger like 30 times.
Oh, yeah.
To get out of your system.
I remember when people got in an uproar about what John said, but I don't remember too many people remembering these wonderful quotes.
This stream is from 2011. I don't need to explain why it's a bad point.
Keeping in mind this subtle racism extended to Susie's Twitter, where she said, "I'm sorry, but I've had nothing but bad situations with black people all week. Is it just the culture? Yeah, I think John should stay away from these racists."
This tweet is also from 2011.
Okay, wow. First of all, sorry that was such a long segment, I had to show a lot of context. But Crizon, that was a terrible point you made. It was from 2011. That means it's not an issue.
You are made of stupid.
That's like saying, well, yeah, I robbed that store, but you see, I did it in 2011. That means I didn't commit a crime. Did you even understand the point Mark was making? Mark's point was that the Game Grumps might have not let John come back on their show because he said some questionable stuff on a live stream. But he showed a clip of Aaron saying something far more clearly racist also on a live stream to show the hypocrisy.
Okay, so technically it wasn't Aaron who directly said it. It was the woman in the clip who said it, but she was quoting something Aaron said, and he didn't deny it, so my point still stands.
And that's all of the video I'm going to cover. Even though this video is 11 minutes, he barely makes any points, and the few of which he does make weren't even good. And so much of the video was just LS Mark's footage. Oh, and you could have put more editing in, but that's just a small thing. Overall, Crizon, this was a bad video. Truly was disappointed.